finished off about the contested play.
Anyway, I've had a major interruption there. I had a phone call, had to answer, and we're back live now with Bern. And I can't remember what the question was, Bernie, but we're obviously talking about the JLT Cup observations. Your thoughts as you were interrupted in full flight?
That's right. The second point, Lawrie, I was just talking about the new way that the game's being played. That the contested type players that haven't got great leg speed, the blokes that don't run under 3 in 20 seconds have really come into the game now, because I mean there's much more space, and it looks to me that those players will play a big part in the game. Having said that, the new rules will also, I think, bring back the advent of having a tagger. I think some clubs may get caught out on this. Some clubs have got them. I mean, e.g. as Mark Hutchins from Freo. I mean, he did a great job on Steel side bottom in the grand final, as people remember. Only had 14 disposals side bottom. If he has his normal 26 or 30, you know, Collingwood can win that game. So Freo are looking for a new Ryan Crowley, and others will be looking the same, because that's the tool they're going to have to put in their box, the coaches, because as we discussed earlier in previous shows, that trying to block up the game is not going to be in favour of them. So and similarly with players like Alex Rance at Richmond, being able to float across the back line and just pick off who he wants to stand and just pick up balls where he likes. I mean, a great player, but now, all stuck in the arc together when the ball's bounced. I mean, he's going to have to take the best forward and then not be able to float as much after the centre bounce.
What do you say about the taggers too? It's interesting because we've all sort of, certainly from the time I've grown up watching football, taggers have been a part. So you reckon the tagging side of thing had drifted a bit just because of the massive amount of interchanges that we have?
Oh, look, it drifted, and you're right, Lawrie, but it also drifted because of the amount of zoning that you had to do. There was more guarding grass than guarding the player. But now the midfielders in the middle have got so much room in there without anyone hindering what they do. Sometimes you're going to have to put a tagger into the centre square, not necessarily a midfielder, on a really good player to be able to curb the midfielders kicking goals out of the middle.
Now, one other little thing that slipped through in regards to the new laws, and that is the ruckman thing. Can you explain that?
Yeah, well, what happens, Lawrie, if the players don't get back into their arcs, now they give them 45 seconds. And the countdown clock has been changed. They're going to put it on the scoreboard now, and it's going to count down from 30, because they started with these LED light screens on the side of the ground, but with the glare, the players couldn't see what was going on. So now it's on the scoreboard, 30 countdown. If you're not in your sixes, the umpire immediately hands the ball to the opposition ruckman. But once he's done that, you can move anywhere you like. So it's if you get it wrong and you're half a metre out where you're supposed to be, the ruckman gets it in the middle of the ground, you could be in big trouble there.
Are we overcomplicating things a bit?
Well, no, I think it's the only way they can do it to make people follow the rules. I mean, e.g. Jared Polak for North Melbourne last week. I don't know whether people saw the game, but he was on the wing on his own when they bounced the ball. Had his arms up in the air going, "Where's my bloke?" But the umpire bounced the ball with half of his back to him. He didn't see him, and the other two umpires didn't pick it up. So if they're going to have the rules in, they've got to be stringent how they work. Otherwise, the coaches will work them over.
What else are we going to look at before round one in terms of a few more games to go in this JLT stuff? Anything else that we're picking up on at the moment?
Well, no, that's about the major things. I mean, there is another one with the AFL have cut back the numbers on the around the ground on the benches. They've cut it back from 30 to 26 because, just for instance, a full forward's having a shot on goal 45 metres out. He kicks a point, and there could be 50 people on the ground at that stage, including players, trainers, water guys, all those sorts of things. But now, if he kicks the point, there is no time for them to get off the ground, so they've got to try and cut the numbers. I mean, and in all fairness...
And this is because of you can play on straight after, you don't have to wait for the flags.
That's right.
So that was the setup, wasn't it? So the ball would go through, it's in the crowd, it comes back, there's no second ball behind the goals, and you've got to wait for the flag to be waved. And now, suddenly, you just grab the nearest ball and away you go, and that's going to catch a lot of these people out, isn't it?
Yeah, they just grab a new ball out of the bag and away they've gone. I mean, and some of the guys that are running water and whatever, they're not all athletes. Some of them are built like me, the poor buggers. I mean, they haven't got much chance to get off there. Well, that's right, tall and thin that I'm talking about. Yeah.
So that's an interesting thought, because, you know, until we see these new rules play out, we're just watching a little bit of the Geelong Essendon game on the telly and the Kensington here now, that you don't actually pick up on this stuff until you get through a few games and you think, oh, they can play on straight away after behind. What's that going to mean for all that stuff? And suddenly but for me it's a counterproductive rule that you bring in this other rule and then you've got to change another rule to fix up to allow for that rule, which worries me a bit.
Yeah, all in all though, I think hockey's done a pretty good job of it. I mean, if you're going to bring in 2 or 3 major rules, you've got to adjust other rules to make them work. You know, so that's a good thing. And just lastly, I mean, we're going to talk, you know, club by club as we go along, but just a little bit with Port Adelaide now. I think that Ken Hinkley flagged a little bit during the week that they may go with the tall forward line, e.g. the same as West Coast. I mean, West Coast late in the grand final last year, it was the talls that won it for them. I mean, backs just run out of gas. I mean, you can't keep jumping and spoiling all day.
Well, the talls don't get any shorter.
No, they don't. No, so I mean, if they go with Westhoff, 200 centimetres on the wing, Lycett and Ryder 200, 197. You know, ruck forward play, Dixon 200, Marshall 198. I mean, it's a big forward line. I mean, he's got a lot of cattle there. I mean, that really could work in his favour. But it wasn't my idea. He just flagged it during the week that they may. But I was just going to let the viewers know that perhaps that's what Kenny Hinkley's thinking.
Did you watch much of the Crows Port game?
Not a great deal. Not a great deal. I mean, probably about a half of it. It was rated as one of the better games by Gerard Healy and co. But I think they had a little bit more chip around trying to test each other, being the 2 teams in South Australia, where the others were a little bit more go at it and getting the run going. Yeah.
Good on you, Ben. Well, nice to have a chat in the thick of it again. Our 3rd edition. Hope you enjoyed it, and it'll be on Facebook and other areas a little bit later. But we'll probably be back. I think we're back next week. I'm away the week after. But good to chat and enjoy whatever you're doing over the weekend.
Good. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Bye for now. How do I turn this off, Bernie? I've forgotten how to turn it off.
Off.
I can't. I've got to hit the button. I've forgotten how to. Oh no, up there. See ya.